What's up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is June 22nd. I hope you are well. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Quickly, before we start into the analysis for the week, over some announcements. First things first, if you're not on our community Discord, you're missing out. Luckily, it's free to join, so the link to sign up is in the description of this video. It'll take a quick 30 seconds to join. Please make sure you do. You'll be able to see some of our announcements, some gains, and also some free content and chat with traders in the community section. So announcements are just pretty much just one announcement, and that is our SmartFX MAM program, and it's traded by our own institute trader. Here's the account itself. You can see the real account, and it's doing great. So the members that have signed up for the SmartFX MAM program are taking absolute advantage. You can see in this particular instance, the gain per month is higher than the drawdown. Again, very rare to see, and it's overall up 16.23%, so that's amazing. And so this is the strategy that you'll be getting, very low risk, which you can actually adjust with ATC's PAM software. So you can increase the risk, decrease it to your liking. For example, here's the aggressive version of the same strategy. I can see around 27% per month. Again, pretty ridiculous. So if you want to sign up for this or just get more information, please email support@forexlens.com and they'll be happy to help you out. And so that's pretty much it. If I do think of anything else, let you guys know. But let's continue to the analysis. So if you're on YouTube, just send in your questions and I'll go through them as the session goes on. For people on Discord, you can send them in two places, either community discussions, here's fine, or user requested TA. That's also great as well. So send pair request. Okay, so last Friday we discussed a short opportunity for NZD dollar, and you can see right now it looks pretty good. This weekly candle is very bearish, and so this was a simple analysis we did in I think in a minute, really, because we cleaned up all our levels. You can see we don't have any levels dating back to the early parts of the year. We just focused on price action at hand. You can see the short is developing, so we'll take a look on the daily, see what's up. The daily is absolutely bearish as hell, which is fantastic. I believe we gapped up on Sunday. I think that's why this candle is all the way up there, and so I don't trade Sundays for that purpose. Let's take a look at 4 hour. In the 4 hour, you can see price has climbed up a bit, and we're just basically waiting for it to come back down. You can see this was on Sunday, so on Sunday at 5 p.m. this is where the market opened. Since then it's jumped up a bit, but I do think that maybe later in the day or even mid-week we should have an entry. So right now it's retracing from that support we drew up on Friday, but you can see the trend is still intact, and I think it's just a minor retrace we'll have, maybe back to resistance. If we do come back up here, we can look for shorts then as well, but overall I think the trend is still down. The daily candle is a bit weird because it dropped down here then back up. That's just because of the mess that happened through the weekend. But again, I think the downtrend is the play here. Don't really see any upside potential unless we do break 0.65850. Then we can maybe start targeting the high right here. So that's NZD. The other one was Euro. So last week we shorted Euro USD. Here's the signal, and we got our first target. That's fantastic. And I don't hold trades over the weekend, not anymore, because of the pandemic and all the other things that are going around the world. So I just was happy with that first TP. Got out, got something out of the markets on a Friday. And usually when you make profits on a Friday, you don't want to get greedy because the market could very easily take them away. Similar to NZD, you see this huge reaction, but you can see the downtrend is still intact. More so for Euro, we've created a few series of lower highs and lower lows, and so I do think we'll get an entry soon for this as well. Not sure why the markets are pulling back this morning, especially against the dollar, but for whatever reason it is, I don't think it's anything too serious. You look, the downtrend's still intact, simple trend line, and Forex factory is clean, so whatever it may be, it may just be plenty of reasons, or a bounty of reasons, but downtrend is still intact, so I'll just be looking for the same thing what we did last week and just wait for this break of this 4-hour support. And I'll actually just extend this over to the right, and here you have, so similar setup, pretty much the same. Price action hasn't changed at all, so short is the way to go. I think Pipsology is also looking for short on euro, so that's great as well. So that's the play this week. We are bullish on the dollar, and hopefully this week isn't a slow mess like last week, because last week was one for the history books. It was, for me personally, that was the slowest week I've ever encountered. Hold on, let me quickly get some of these pair recommendations. I'll just get a good idea of who wants what done. Okay, perfect. So we have euro, just did euro, and yeah, the home sales, yeah, they come out negative, but it's not a high impact news event. Well, at least that's what Forex Factory thinks. So I'm not sure if that was the mover, but it could be, since it was the only U.S. event. So we have pound, dollar, and euro. So yeah, euro I'm still taking short, despite this. I mean, it's not even that big of a difference, to be honest. It is a pandemic, and so who's really looking to buy homes right now? But this is what I have. The same setup, and I'll save it and send it through to Discord. But it is a short, and here we go. And oops, the music's a little too loud for my liking. I usually, yeah, I'll take it off. I usually have my own music playing. Yeah, I'll take it off. Might distract people. So euro short, NZD short. We're just gonna have to wait for these pullbacks to show some retracement, maybe a rejection on this trend line. This trend line's on the 4-hour time frame, is connecting the two highs from last week and the current high. So pound dollar, last week we had a short for this, and this played out a lot better than the other trades. We got our first 25-30 pips, and then got stopped at our break even, and then we went another 55, 60ish pips before we reverted back on Friday. This trade looks more promising just because we have had a significant move down already. You can see we've pulled back from this exact white line at 123,530, right? So based on this, I do think we're going to come back and move this now. I do think we're going to come back and retest this kind of area right here. And any sign of rejection at 1.24700 should let us know that the short is still down. So pound has the tendency to do these huge sell-offs and a decent size rally back up or retrace, and then followed by a huge sell-off. So we could have a decent sized rally back up, maybe to here. If we can come here and get a rejection at 1.24700, then we'll enter short in the next 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, and we'll get short back down to at least this low. So nice 130 pips. If we do come back above this 1.24700 level, I'd be careful about shorts, just because again, price could make a deep retrace like up to here, and if we try longing, price could very well slip back down, right? So if we do make a high here, for example, or if we go to this arbitrary point and make a high, you can still see we're still in the downtrend, right? We have yet to clear this previous high. So that's the issue with counter trend trading. You don't know how much you're going to get a price, if anything, before it reverts back on you. But this is probably the most promising setup, is to wait for a rejection at this 1.24700 level. GU, if you look at the daily, again, last week we had a significant sell-off. You can see, if we were gonna react or have some sort of reaction, it was gonna be in and around this level, right? We have a lot of wicks, previous resistance here, support here, and now resistance just the last time back in May. So this is a level where we were expecting some sort of reaction. That's why we marked it on the chart. Now we're gonna have to see if this price action can stay. I don't think this bullish candle is a sign of a full-on reversal. It just may be a deep retrace, which may be annoying, but I think some of the minors we can take in the meantime. So that is GU. J Trader, what's up? Kiwi Swiss and Aussie CAD, perfect. So here, let's take a look at the analysis. So this was again on Friday, and you can see what we were picturing for this to happen. We came up from here, we pulled back down, and then we kind of made a decent retrace, maybe to the 50 fib level, and then it looked like we're gonna come and pour over, and so that's why I was taking shorts. Just pan this out. You can see this is the low we made last week, so we do need to clear that low for shorts, and then we're gonna target this resistance level here, and then finally the secondary resistance. A nice intraday setup, right? 5.0 R2R, a very, very, very tight stop loss. This stop loss is 21 pips, so that's pretty dang good. So for this trade, in all honesty, I think we just need to get price to just drop. I'm not sure. I guess it is the home sales, because when you have NZD gain on the dollar, you're gonna have NZD gain on the yen, gain on the CHFs, gain on the CADs even. So I think this reaction is just due to the correlation. So this morning we'll have to kind of feel out how the markets react to the home sales for the US, but I think the short is still the main primary option. Right? I wouldn't go long unless we come up here and we close above, right? If the price comes in and around this area, then we can start targeting this high or this high, something like that. So for example, we can have a long from here to here. So we'll know in a few hours whether this candle and whether this price action is a bluff or is a sign of markets gaining on the dollar. Right now I think it's a bluff, but we'll see. So we do come above 0.62000 J, so 0.62000. The longs are a go, but if we do break last week's low, which is at 0.6400, a nice level. So 0.6400. If we break that low, we'll go short. So two clean levels, right? 0.62000 and 0.6400, and we'll have a good idea of price. So I think today's morning, this retail home sale was definitely skewed a bit of the markets, but it's fine. So we also have some CAD data coming out right now. Aussie CAD, let's see what Aussie CAD's doing. So yeah, this was an idea given last week. So we were waiting for a price, because it creates support here to kind of pull back up at this line, at this resistance, and then short it. You can see, this thing's been consolidated since June 2nd. It's just been stuck here. All right, June 2nd all the way to now, the 22nd. That's 20 days of price action just being in between two levels. And so that's why, on the 16th or 17th, we were waiting for price to pull up here. So for rejections and go short, it just never happened. So Aussie CAD, I mean, you can even see we've created some minor resistance here as well. And if you're a scalper, I mean, this is a dream come true for you. So you can see this resistance here. We made it here as well. So rejection, and we're looking to reject again. So you get a rejection here, maybe on the 1 hour time frame, you do have a nice short to take. So it's a decent amount of pips. Surprising, it's around 60 pips for Aussie CAD. That's actually a lot, just from this level to here. So hey, if we get a maybe a 1 hour, 2 hour rejection, I wouldn't mind calling that trade. So we'll see. So you can see price has made a decent effort to go to that price point, but I think it can give one last attempt to actually touch it, and then we'll know. So the level I have is 0.93590, and if we get a maybe a 1 hour rejection or just a bearish candle in general, just a bearish candle is gonna be fine. We can take the short. So that's definitely on the table, and we'll have maybe a 2.2 R2R. So if we look at it like this, our stop loss will just be above the recent high we made, just to make sure we don't get wicked. And then so like this. So 3.46 R2R is not bad at all, and the stop loss is 13 pips. So that is also pretty good. So that's a potential setup we have for Aussie CAD. Right now we do have some CAD. The Bank of Canada governor is speaking, so I don't think he's saying anything too important. Otherwise, we'd see this candle going crazy. But this is probably the setup we'll first enter for the week. Awesome. Thank you for that. And YouTube. Cool. We have some more recommendations. Pound NZD 4-hour perfect, and USD SGD, Singapore dollar. Cool. Alright, so pound NZD, let's take a look. My oh my. Yeah, so last week we had a potential short idea, and you can see because of the candles. So this was the first momentum candle we had that broke the key level we wanted to enter on. And you can see, the wicks for this candle right here. The wick to the bottom is longer than the wick to the top, and therefore this is a bearish hammer. And we don't enter on these candles, so we waited for price action, right? So on Friday we kind of determined that price will pull back to this support we broke, and once we get a rejection we can short it. You can see on Sunday we have this huge gap up, and then Sunday going into Monday, price has pulled back down, but none of the candles are the 4-hour candle we like. Usually we want to see an inverted hammer like this when we enter short, or an inverted hammer like that, or just a candle with no wicks at the top and bottom. And so we're not seeing any of that here, and our target is all the way down here, so we're about a stone's throw away from our target. So at which point we can probably look for either a bounce to go long or a break of that target point, and we can go short again. So if we look at the daily, you'll see this is the daily we have, and this is the support right here. So dating back to the early parts of June and just going all the way back to 2019. This is a major support for pound NZD. And so if we do break it, like for example here, we'll go all the way down, and so that's an option. Otherwise, if we do start seeing some rejection on a small time frame, we can take a long back up to these highs. We've had that happen, here multiple times, and here as well. So in between these two levels, it's around 3,000 pips. So we'll have a lucrative trade either way. So I'm just gonna let the short kind of finish itself out. It's a bummer that none of the candles were the candles we wanted, but it was that type of week last week. So you can see the downtrend is very well intact, and so I'd be more likely to go for the break of the support and then go short rather than look for a reversal. The level we're looking to break is 1.91100. So it's around 80 pips away, but this thing can move 80 pips in 1 hour, so it's definitely an option as well. Now, if I show you the potential R2R, it's gonna be similar to the one we just had. So something like this, 3.92. So we just have to wait for that 4-hour closure below 1.91100, and we can go. Obviously, we're in a downtrend, so the short continuation is what we're looking for, rather than the reversal, right? Because most of the time, I think 70% of the time, price is trending. The other 25% of the time, it's consolidating, and then the other 5% it's reversing. So to catch, those are rough ballpark numbers, but it's somewhere along those lines. To keep trying to catch a reversal, they're just playing a losing battle. So that's pound NZD, very nice setup. Hopefully we'll get an entry this time around. And again, the 4 hour, like Doug mentioned, 4 hour time frame is crucial, and that's the time frame you want, either an inverted hammer like this when we break the key level, or just a bearish candle with no wicks to the top or bottom. Perfect. Someone asked for US dollar versus the Singapore dollar. Now, I've never analyzed this pair in the trading room. No one has ever asked, so that's great. We'll do a top-down analysis. And so this has been in a downtrend since 2003. Since 2003, this thing has started the world's longest downtrend, all the way from 2003 to 2011, and then it's been in a shaky uptrend, maybe even consolidating if you want to call it that. So let's see. We can definitely acknowledge the resistance here. Right, so we do have some resistance up here. We have some support down here, like that. And so obviously based off just this, on the long-term view, I'm taking short. You can see, the past few candles, inverted hammer. So that's good. Now we can even plot our weekly levels, so you can see we have some weekly resistance here / support, and that's where price is currently resting on. So we pop to the weekly now. You can see what has happened. So price tried to close bearish below this weekly resistance / support. So here's your resistance, here's your support, resistance, support, and then resistance. Price tried to close bearish, it got pushed all the way back up. You can see it's a bearish hammer here, a bullish hammer here, and now this current candle is trying to come back down. So depending on what happens with this candle, and I'd probably say the daily candle will be the best. So we'll take a look at the daily, but based off this, it could go either way, 50-50. Because it technically has included its previous low, right? This is its higher low. This is a higher high, higher low. This is a new higher high, so it hasn't cleared this previous low. So technically, it could just shoot up now and create a new high, and that's definitely an option. See how the daily looks. Yeah, so the daily, last week we had a significant sell-off. Pretty much the entire week we just sold off, USD Singapore dollar. This week you can see we pulled back a bit, and I do think that a long could very well be an option. It could very well be an option. So, looking for entry criteria for long. I'm just going to identify this high we made a few weeks back. Back in February, we made this high right here, and we used it as a kind of a launch point before we went on this huge bull run. And so if we do close above that, again on the daily time frame, I think we would have a pretty decent long. And I think, that's, if I were to give a high probable setup, I think that's the option right now for this pair, the long. Now obviously shorts can be an option as well. Again, we are technically in a small time frame, we're on the downtrend. So if we do clear this low we made back in March, then we're fine to go short as well. So I'm just going to identify that low. So we identified this low made in March, we identified this high we made in February. If we break the February high, we're going long. If we break the March low, we're going short. So that's the analysis right now. There's nothing too imminent to give. 4 hour, let's see if there's anything there. Yeah, there's nothing too imminent. I wouldn't even go short against this, even though we've broken a trend line per se. I'd still be careful about going short, just because the support has been pretty well respected, and so we could dip below but easily come back up. And so I'd rather wait for a long-term move, especially for a pair like this one. So that's my opinion. Alright, what's next? I believe we analyzed some of the other exotics last week, and then let me give a quick peek for those that are wondering about those. Aussie yen, pound Aussie. Would it be similar to pound NZD? Yeah, it'd be pretty similar. They're pretty well correlated. You know, the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie are very well correlated, and then even, for example, if you look at this, so here's pound NZD. Here's the setup we gave. Now, if you look at pound Aussie, you can see pretty much identical, right? And hey, we actually might have entry on this. So we did this on Friday, and cool. So this current 4-hour candle might give us entry for this short. So on Friday we discussed this short. Again, it's very similar to pound NZD. We can, if this 4-hour candle can turn into an inverted hammer, you know, turns black, and it can dip a bit below, we can take the short. This is fantastic, actually. I'm glad you asked. Yeah, so we can have this ready to enter in an hour and 30, roughly 90 minutes from now. We just need this bearish candle, or this bullish candle right now. It is blue, so it's technically bullish, but we want it to turn black and the body to actually dip a bit below. But I like how the wicks are looking. So the wick to the top is significantly longer than one to the bottom, and that's great. That inverted hammer is very key for our short. So we just need the body to come back a bit low, and we should be good. So, you know, something like this, right? The body can come a bit lower like that. That'll be fantastic, and we'll have a good rejection of this support, right? We're waiting for the support to break to go short. You see price has dropped back down, retested it, and this candle would be the rejection candle, and we'd be good to go for shorts. So thank you. That's an option. Here, I'll put an alert. Alerts can be at 1.80, 100, and this will just let me know when price has crossed down below, and we'll just enter right away. The R2R, depending on where we get entry, will be similar to what we have, 2.57. It actually might be a bit tighter, because if we enter down here, we can have like a 2.9. This would be a good R2R as well. So I'll let you guys know in 90 minutes or so if we're going to be entering this or not. Otherwise, we'll have to wait for 9 p.m. Closure to see if we get a bearish candle. Perfect. Aussie yen. So based on what we discussed this whole session, I would not be surprised if Aussie yen has jumped up to the upside. And yeah, it has a bit, not too much, but enough. Let's take a look. I'm going to actually remove all the recent levels because we are so consolidated. I think it's better that we have a clean chart. So the price action that was happening at the beginning of the year was perfect. It moved in nice chunks. Either, you know, we had a nice sell-off, uptrend. You know, we had nice clear uptrends, sell-offs, very clean price action. And then the pandemic, and then all this other, you know, stuff started happening, and we haven't seen that type of price action since. So you can see, you know, this daily candle, again, Aussie yen has jumped up, and this is pretty much because Aussie dollar has jumped up, and that's most likely because of this terrible result right here. So we, again, like all the other pairs discussed, like NZD, CHF, NZD dollar, we're gonna have to wait for price action to kind of calm down and kind of absorb the data that happened this morning, because the downtrend is still intact, and so this one candle shouldn't really flip the script on us per se, but we'd know by the end of the day if this is you know, a bluff, or if this is a direction change, or whatever it may be. Again, the weekly candle from last week, you can see last week we spent a large portion of it consolidating, but it was an inverted hammer as well, so that is good. That's a good sign. This week, obviously, we're starting off very strong because of the data, but by all means, if the daily can come back down, we're gonna have a nice short. So 4 hour, you can see on the 4 hour we have some support here, exactly where price has kind of jumped up from, and very simple. If we break the 4 hour support, we will go short. Now the reason why I'm eyeing shorts is because that's the trend. We're in the downtrend. Even though this high has cleared this previous one, we still resumed that that creation of lower lows, lower highs, etc., etc., etc. And so we just need to break 72,600 for shorts, and I think that's the most likely play. Longs, we could have a long as well, but based on this price action, I'd be a bit careful. The only time I'd go long is if we pop back above. I'd say even if we'd have to clear this high that we created last week to even mention longs for now. So that's my opinion. I'd probably wait. Put an alert below support. I'd wait for this support to get broken before giving a specific idea. But 72,550 is my alert crossing down, and we'll see. So if we do get around here, and I'm available, I'll call the signal, and we could have a short. But it's a very messy Monday morning, that's for sure. Alright, any other pair recommendations, let me know before I give a quick look to the exotics we did last week. Alright, so let me look at the exotics for people. I believe it was this. Yes, it was. Right. Oh no, it was a rand. It was a rand. USD. Here we go. Perfect. Let's see. Let's go to daily. Right. So last week, here's what we discussed: 17.9500 go along daily bullish closure. So you can see, from Friday going to today, not much has happened with this pair. We see a lot of the majors have reacted to the news negatively to the dollar. The USD rand is just chilling out. So again, this idea still stands. The price action is still there. If we close above 17.95, we're going long for sure. The only time I'm thinking short is if we clear this previous level down here, but that's too far away for even us to think about. So this long idea is still on the table. I'll put an alert since I've become a new fan of exotics. My alert will be at 17,800 crossing up. And let's see if we can get this straight. The other one was the Euro rand and had a similar price action as well. So again, we're just waiting for this bullish candle to close above 19.600 to go long to 20.700. So price has chilled. It has spent the last few days just hanging out below this level. We're just waiting for that push above, and we should satisfy this daily range we have here, right? So we can send this over. This is the daily range we need to satisfy between 19,600 and 2,700. So that's what we're eyeing right now. All right. So any other last minute pair recommendations, let me know before we end it off. I'll do BTC since we haven't done it in a while, and then that'll be that. So one last look on YouTube. Someone said silver. Okay, silver, BTC, and then we'll be done for the day. So let's see, silver. Right here, let's see. So we're still waiting for that short idea. Yeah, price is just so reluctant to go lower. So this was on Thursday. And that's when I was pretty sure that price is gonna go and break this level. Again, we need 1670 to break to go short, and since then we spiked up on the weekend, and we're still in a downtrend technically, but the longer we stay like this, the more likely that it seems possible that silver can go up and make new highs. The only time we've been thinking of shorts is once we get to 1840, right? 1840. Then we'll start thinking of shorts. Of longs once we break 1840. But I think the short is still the likely option. We just need to break 1670 and we should be good. So same setup that's on Discord. It's in the majors analysis, and yeah, so pretty boring. Let me see how gold is doing. Ooh, gold. Okay, gold. We may have a long here. Remove all these drawings. Oh my god. So if you guys remember back in the end of 2019, I had a video where I said, where I had my 2020 targets. And one of them was gold to 1800, right? 1800 for gold. And we're at 1760. Oh my god. We might hit 1800 this week. And hold on. This will be a great week. So let's check it out. Let's check it out. It's for the weekly. I mean, man, yeah, we could definitely get it. So if you look at last week, we had a bullish hammer, and then we had some upside momentum. I'm just going to identify this as a weekly level, this right here, and then here we have, see, we have our daily levels on the chart now, right here. Perfect, and you can see we popped above that 1748 resistance, or just 1750 psychological level, and the next area I want price to clear before we enter it is this wick, right? This 1764, this wick we created back in May. That's the highest we went in the quarter, and if gold can clear 1765, right? 1765, if we can clear it, we can take the long to 1800, and this will be the craziest trade we've taken in a while. We're used to taking intraday trades because of the choppiness of the markets, but this will be a nice long straight to the upside, 1800. So wow, that is crazy. Who knew gold did this in 2 days? But it jumped up a huge amount. Anyway, so I'll put an alert at 1766, so I'll know when gold has crossed above 1765, and we'll take the long. So bullish on gold. And that's the R2R. So that is the setup of the week, maybe, if we can get a good entry. And if we're being honest, the stop loss could be a bit tighter. So 2.77, there you go. Precious metal. Let's see how it does. Alright, so BTC, and then we'll be done unless someone sends one more pair request. Let's see, BTC. Oh my god. Like, this is like BTC is like that child you have with so much potential and talent, and it's just doesn't want to do it. It has all, the halvening happened, all that etc. happened, COVID happened, Trump's under fire, everything is going right for BTC, and this thing is just unbothered. So again, the longer it stays in and around this trend line or below it, the more bearish my opinion gets for BTC. I mean, it spent around 8 days trying to break this trend line or try to jump up. It went to 10,500, and if we break that, I'm saying 13,800, but again, it barely went to 10,500. It barely went there. So I don't know. It's looking tough. It's looking like a real tough scene for buyers for BTC. But again, the daily time frame. Once we close below in this previous low on a daily time frame, that's at 8,500. If we close below 8,500, BTC is going lower, right? How much lower depends on its mood, but definitely 7,600 is a good target. So for shorts, if you're looking for that short, wait for 8,500 to get cleared on a daily, and you'll have a short. But yeah, it's BTC. So I'm gonna do one last kind of check for any pair recommendations. Gold looked like it has overbought. I believe you're talking about RSI. Let's see. I'm not a huge fan of indicators and RSI and overbought, because things can be overbought and oversold for weeks upon weeks before anything happens, right? If you've been trading, you know that even though it's overbought, it could be it can go up to the upside for the next 1 month or two before it finally comes back down. Hold on, where is Oanda? There's so many pairs here. Yeah. So let's pull up the RSI. Let's see where it's at. So usually people put yeah, that's fine. Usually people have 80-20. This has 70-30. Um, I mean, even on the daily, it's approaching overbought levels, but it still has some room to go. Um, for example, here, if you look at February 18th, right, you can see price crossed the overbought level on the 18th. And if you pull up, this was the candle where it did that, and you can see for the next 1, 2, 3 days, we still had upside momentum, and that's around, you know, a good percentage of movement right there, right? And here you have the, for example, at this point you had the sell-off, right? When this thing started coming back down, you can see price even then, after crossing that overbought level, it still had another bull run in it. So I don't really follow RSI too much, but what it's telling me right now is there's still upside momentum here. We still have some room to go. You don't even see the indicator curving just yet, right? It's just pointing up. We haven't even started to see any of these curves or banks come in, so I do think the upside momentum is there. But if it clears 1765, then that'll just confirm the upside momentum, and we won't get faked out. So that's thank you for bringing that up. That just taught people a valuable lesson about the indicators. And so let me just check YouTube, and otherwise, if everything is done, I'll give the 50% off coupon code for people that are looking to join full time. Andy, very soon we'll have a copy trader very soon. But a managed account is pretty much a copy trader in itself. You're pretty much getting the account traded for you. Now, first 50 is a coupon code, so if you enjoyed today's session, and if you want to join the ones every day, Monday and Friday are our free sessions. They're general sessions. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday is when we start to do the actual analysis and trade entries. Now, if you're looking to get all the daily sessions plus 10 signal providers, right? So all these providers, and then analysis from traders like Joe. We have Elliott wave analysis as well. So if I show you, for example, here we have Pipsology. It's an institutional-based trading. Elliott wave analysis. Then we have Genius Ben, who does some price action. So if you're looking for all this content, we have in total around 13 trade ideas / signal providers, and all my live sessions included. This coupon code, first 50, will get your first month of 50% off. All you have to do is go to forexlens.com, go to Forex Trading Room, click Get Full Access, fill out this form. It'll take maybe a minute of your time. Click Next, and then you should see enter a coupon code. If you enter first 50, your first month will only be $48.50 for all that content. You will learn while you earn. You can't beat that. And throughout the day, you can message me, Genius Ben, or any of the other traders for some advice or some trade-related help, and we'll be happy to help. So I hope you guys have a great trading week. I know us in the trading room will. So hopefully some of you take advantage of this promotion, and I see new faces. But that's that. So hope you guys are safe. Peace and happy trading.